And we're back.
Hoo, 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 hoo.
Welcome to the Auto Authorities Podcast. I am pumped up to do this one. You probably heard that before, right?
Nope, you're never pumped up for any of this.
Welcome to the Auto Authorities Podcast. We have a good one for you today. Are Carvana and Vroom going to collapse?
Boom!
Poof. Oh boy, I have so much to talk about. This is going to be such a fun episode because
They're all fun.
Well, they are. And everything that I predicted in 2014 when I started iAutoAgent is happening right now. And why is it happening? Why? Why is Carvana and
I
Vroom?
just fixed the damn car, so I don't know.
Well, we're going to find out. Are you ready to do this?
Absolutely.
Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride when buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the podcast that tells you what to watch out for, whether you're buying, selling,
Or repairing your car.
With 47 years of automotive experience, we are the Automotive Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by iAutoAgent. We're real estate agents for cars.
And Quality Auto STL. Trusted services with no surprises.
Boom!
Oh, yeah!
Welcome back to the Auto Authorities Podcast. My name is Jay Grossman. I'm the founder and CEO of iAutoAgent. We are real estate agents for cars. We not only will help you sell your car at no cost to you, handle the marketing, the showing, the listing of the vehicle, everything, but we will help you buy a car nationwide at iAutoAgent.com. We navigate the entire sticky process for you, keep you in control the whole time, and you don't move forward until you approve the deal. And this is my co-host, Mr. David Marks with Quality Auto STL, trusted services with no surprises. And man, oh man, you ready to get into this thing?
Yeah.
Before we get into it, I wanted to thank our sponsors, Podcastify.me. They are the ones that make this beautiful production. And if you could be listening to this, you could be watching this. And thanks to Podcastify.me, we have this beautiful podcast, and they are doing such a good job for us. I just get compliments all the time, and we just keep getting better and better and better. And before we get going, if you are watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button in the right corner, click the notification button, and you will be alerted of all of our podcasts that we record, and you can see our pretty faces, or you can watch us live on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Central Time. It's called the Auto Authorities Podcast group page on Facebook. And then you can watch us live. Or if you want to listen to us recorded, you can listen to us on iTunes, Pandora, Amazon. We're everywhere. And if you go to theautoauthorities.com, that's theautoauthorities.com, you can listen to all of our podcasts, and we've been doing this for over a year, every single week. And folks, we do not plan any of this. This is raw, it's uncut, it's real information, it's not edited, and it's straight to you, right?
Absolutely.
And we want you to comment on anything that you hear today. Comment. Let us know what your thoughts are. Share this with your friends and family. We are building our audience big time right now. Speaking of an audience, Carvana and Vroom, their audience is going. So for all of you that don't know what Carvana and Vroom are, I'm just going to give you a little background. Carvana started in 2012. They deliver cars to you. You pick them out on the internet, and they make it so easy to buy a car and get it delivered. And Vroom does the same thing. They started in 2013, and they will deliver the car to you as well. But sometimes perception is not reality, is it, Mr. David Marks?
No, because
So much to share with you. This is going to be in a multiple part episode, but we're going to get into the good stuff right now. And Dave, tell me what core values means to you.
core values means that these are, I'm going to use the term principles that, either a person or a company, stands by. I mean, Jay, you're a perfectly great example of somebody that really emphasizes their core value. The I in I Auto Agent stands for integrity. With my business, when people with auto repair, people want trusted services with no surprises. And that's what we offer, and that's what we provide. Jay provides integrity. We provide trusted services with no surprises. There, and the reality, folks, this is all the same thing. It's just our unique ways of presenting what we believe our core values. Like the culture of my company is with our employees. Is we call it ethical teamwork. When we combine teamwork with ethics, that's how we present those trusted services with no surprises. And to me, that's what our company stands by. Auto Agent stands by integrity. To me, that integrity means always doing what's right, no matter what.
Thank you. I totally agree. And, your business, Dave, is trusted services with no surprises. That's your core value and that's your tagline. And ours is integrity and teamwork and really what the big thing that is important for us is to bring in people to the company that have the same core values as us. And that's a lot easier said than done. And if somebody does not meet our core values, then they don't work at iAuto Agent. It's that simple. And sometimes time will tell with people, but I've become a very good reader of people over going on 7.5 years doing this. And let's talk a little bit about core values. Let's talk about the people that are behind these companies. And I'm just going to start with Carvana. So Carvana was started in 2012. It was started actually by Ernie Garcia II, who was the founder of Drive Time. Now, Drive Time works with people that have had setbacks in credit, and frankly, they take massively advantage of people. So, what a great person to start another company. He started it with his son. Unfortunately, he can't have his name on the business. Ready for this? Because he's a convicted ex-con. What did he do? Why is he a convicted ex-con? He was involved with a $1 million embezzlement. Yep.
Wow.
Fraud, securing lines of credit. And that is who runs Carvana. What a wonderful guy. Right? Wrong. you're just,
Wow.
you're
Yeah,
like stunned.
I just, I'm dumbfounded. I mean, how can somebody that's been convicted of a federal crime, because the federal government just doesn't pull people out of the air and we're going to take you to federal court. No, if they're taking you for court for, bank fraud or money fraud, or we'll just call it financial fraud in general, they've done their homework and they know.
Yep.
The federal government's not stupid, and they're not going to waste their time trying to convict somebody when they don't have proper evidence. No, they did their homework. They found out, and it's like, and that's not like a mistake. It's not like a speeding ticket or maybe even a DWI. Those things, like, okay, we all make mistakes, but when you can commit a federal financial offenses, I'm going to call it, you knew what you were doing. That's serious matter. I mean, that's not something to play around with, in my eyes. Like, no, you're convicted of this. Yeah. I could get people because I've made some mistakes. I'm not perfect. I don't have the cleanest history, but wasn't anything like this.
Well, it's interesting because when we get into this next piece, so I was reading, according to CBS News, they just laid off 2,500 workers via Zoom And there are reports that it was actually a recorded Zoom call. Basically, they fired 2,500 people. Wow.
In today's economy and job market.
So it's interesting. This just comes down to core values, doesn't it? And that's why I wanted to talk about that a little bit, right? So when the pandemic hit in 2020, there were a lot of companies firing people, laying off people. How many people did you wind up laying off?
I didn't lay off anybody. I was hiring.
I laid off 0.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's because I invest in my people, and I know you do too. And it's not about money to me. It is not about money. That is not why I started this company, and that is not why you started. You have a passion for what you do, and I wanted to share my gift with the world of spending 18 years in the horrible dealership world and teaching people about how to navigate this terrible buying and selling process that has never changed for over 100 years. And especially in your business too, Dave. I mean, are mechanics really well thought of people? No.
No. The two most complaints I got, kind of where the trusted services with no surprises came from, is I'm shocked. So people would take their car to somewhere else, and the shop would say it's $400 estimate. Well, then when people went to pick the car up, the shop wanted $650. Yet there's no communication, or they tried to, as I call it, they tried to upsell the list, that you may or may not need. And it's like, no, that's not what I stand for. People want to be communicated to, and people want to feel appreciated.
That's exactly right. And when I interview people, that's exactly what the number one complaint of the places that they worked. I was never heard. I wasn't appreciated. And we do exactly the opposite. So let's talk about these 2,500 workers. They were blindsided. Why were they laid off? Carvana in the first quarter of this year. Are you sitting down for this?
Last time I checked, I'm sitting in my office chair.
According to CBS News, they lost $506 million.
That's insane.
Why are they losing this money? It comes down.
What are the salaries for the executives? I mean, that's a publicly traded company, so they do have to report financials to the Security Exchange Commission that is public record. Anybody can go look it up.
Yes, that is exactly right.
Well, there's financials that are required for public, and then there's financials for investors. There's two sets of financial statements, and I haven't looked at them, but that's how it works.
We could look at them, and like you said, it's a public company. So now we're going to talk about the Odessa auto auction, because this is really interesting. So imagine that you're an employee of Carvana. You're like, man, I have a family. I'm getting a salary. Everything's great. And all of a sudden, it's like you're walking down an alley and they hit you back in the head with a bottle. And they're like, whoa, what the heck just happened? Why did this happen? Well, they said business is slow. Well, business is a little bit slow. It's kind of a weird world we live in. You're going to lay off 2,500 people. They already have a lot of issues. We're going to talk about that later. So then they lay off 2,500 people. And what did they go do? They bought Odessa Auto Auction for $2.2 billion. One of the largest auto auctions in the country. And there's so much to this for those of you who are listening, because whether you're looking to buy a car or sell a car, doesn't matter. It's important to know who's behind this company. And what I want to do is just real quick, I wanted to take just a quick second once again to thank our sponsors, podcastify.me. That is what makes this thing look so beautiful. Contact them. If you want your own podcast, they can make it happen for you. We just show up, don't we, Dave?
Yeah, we just show up, and our responsibility that we feel is to inform you, the everyday consumer, on how to make good decisions.
Yes. And if you're listening on YouTube, you can click the subscribe button and the notification button in the right-hand corner. You can subscribe to the Auto Authorities podcast for we don't edit.
No, that'll be in the show.
Yeah, the YouTube, and then you can make comments about what you think. The other piece, you can watch us live on Tuesdays Central Time, the Auto Authorities Podcast group. Join our group. Got a great group. We have a big group now. You can watch us live. And if you are listening and you just want to listen to this on your radio or on your phone,
Spotify, Apple, whatever.
iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora. It's like on everything. Please leave a review too. We'd like to know how you feel about the podcast. Is it of value to you? We've been receiving a lot of amazing reviews, and that is just what drives us to do what we do every single day. So let's talk about the Odessa auto auction and why is it so important. Let's talk about what is an auction, because a lot of people don't even know what that is. How would you explain that, Dave?
I mean, an auction is where because there's multiple auctions. There's auctions for everything. Is where an item, an object, is up for bid, and the person that's willing to pay the most typically wins the bid. I mean, if we're all familiar with eBay used to be auction only. So if I want to auction off, I buy a lot of cars from auto auctions. It's an auction. So a car goes on what's called the auction block, and then the auctioneer will start the bid at a price, around where the seller wants to get for that car. And then dealers like myself, we start putting up our arms, and the highest bidder gets it. Now, where this comes into, I see a couple holes where this becomes a big conflict for interest for anybody that buys from Odessa. Let's say, because typically auctions with auto auctions, there's a fee to the auction. There's a seller fee, and then there's a buyer fee, and then there's what the car sells for. And other auctions have the same thing. eBay, if you put an item for sale on eBay gets a cut of that sale, and that's how they make their money. Okay, and these auctions make their money on the seller fee and the buyer fee. So if a car is going for sale, what's going to stop Carvana from having a decoy dealer on the lot putting his arm up to rise up the price, so that way the fee goes up? And at two, let's say Carvana decides we're going to sell a car through there, but the seller is listed under Joe Blow dealer, and we got a decoy and they're bidding up that price, because that's going to put more money in Carvana's pocket. This is a huge conflict for interest. I can't wait to see how this all plays out, and how the dealers figure out that Carvana is trying to raise car prices at seller prices to make themselves more money in disguise.
It's interesting you say that, Dave, because when it came, we work with a lot of dealers at iAutoAgent.com. When we do our buyer's agent program, we literally work directly with the dealers. We make our clients have an amazing experience to buy their vehicle. And I've been interviewing some dealers. They absolutely are like, I will never, ever use that auction again. I don't trust these people. And when you use the word, I'm going to use the word impartial. When you are at an auction, it is supposed to be, everything's supposed to be impartial. The person that's buying the car should not be in cahoots with the person that's selling the car.
Not anymore.
And all they've been trying to do, and from what it seems to me, people are calling this the biggest Ponzi scheme ever in the history of the United States, because they keep getting money to invest. Investors just keep throwing money at this. This company has never made a profit since 2012. What the hey is this about?
Yeah, how did they fund this?
Yeah. And they were funding this actually with junk bonds. The Odessa auto auction. I mean, this is $2.2 billion. I mean, just think if you're that loyal employee that's supporting their family on a small income, and now you don't have a freaking job, and they're going out and spending $2.2 billion on an auction. What the heck is that?
I mean, guys in the car business, we're smart. Guys like me are smart. Now, I've never used Odessa. My dealer's license is listed on there, but after hearing this, I'll never buy anything out of there because one, I don't want to support Carvana, and two, how do I know they're not trying to scam? I mean, these guys aren't the dealers like me aren't stupid. So this is a huge conflict of interest. I mean, in a couple years, this is going to go under. I just said it. This isn't going to last long. This is going to migrate more people in the St. Louis market to Manheim, and then America's Auto Auction, which is on the Illinois side of the river. Those are the two other big auctions here, and it's just going to. I mean, that's just where the market's going to go.
I totally agree with you 100%. And let's talk about Carvana a little bit more. Who's behind this company? Ernie Garcia II. We already talked about that. But let's also talk about what is going on right now with Carvana. And here's what I read also is most of the people that were let go were in the operations department. So that's their number one problem is operations. They can't provide titles to people on time. There are class action lawsuits. In fact, I just read that Illinois, the state of Illinois, has suspended Carvana from even doing business. They suspended them.
Yeah, because states take these used vehicle dealer license, that's what myself and Jay have, extremely seriously. They take it extremely seriously. I mean, at once upon a time, Jay, where it was like 7 or 8 states either had suspended license or been fined, or they were in a lot of trouble with multiple states.
I'm going to tell you something else too, and this is interesting. So when we had done a Carvana episode several months ago, and we looked in the Better Business Bureau, and they were in the pits. There were hundreds and hundreds of reviews, and it was like an average of a 2 out of 5 or a 1.8 out of 5.
It's terrible.
Well, guess what? Magically, you can't even read the reviews anymore on Better Business Bureau. You can't even see a rating anymore.
Wow.
What does that mean? I've never seen that before. When somebody is on the Better Business Bureau and then you just can't even find them at all. If you look at it, so if you do a
I'm doing it right now. I mean,
you're doing a Google search. So if you do a Google search for Carvana reviews, check out where it says for consumer affairs. They have 895 reviews at a 2.7. This is the company. This is what we're dealing with. If you go to Carvana St. Louis, you look at they have 86 reviews at 2.9. So if you like this is not a company that is like I mean these are facts. This isn't stuff that I just pull out. And the theme of the reviews is they're not receiving their paperwork. They're having to call.
I just found it on here. It says rating NR is what it says.
Yep.
On the Better Business Bureau.
Mm-hmm. And when I've never seen that before. And when we did this episode, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like a D rating, which, I mean, if you can't get an A+ in Better Business Bureau, you're really trying hard not to.
Yeah, that takes effort and initiative to get a
really.
I did. Wow, this blows my mind. Well, they can't touch Google and they can't touch even Facebook or Consumer Reports. How much money did they spend to get this? I don't know.
And I mean, I'm seeing them spending huge money on sponsorships for the Blues game. It's just unbelievable. And it hurts me for those people that lost their job. That's really the big thing, because I have a huge heart for people, especially hardworking people that do what they can and they bust their ass for your company. Like that's what it's all about. I'm gonna read a text message, and this actually hit a note with me. This was a text message actually sent to me by one of our agents last night, literally last night at 8:39 p.m. He says, "Sorry for the late text. I am so overwhelmed in a great way with emotion and possibility. I've had so many great interactions with our clients and potential buyers today that it's somewhat difficult to put into words. 3 potential closings in the works. If they do not close, still amazing success. Why? Because we are about transparency and integrity. We take care of our clients. Jay, I'm so thankful for your hard work, the hours and time you put in that we will never know about. I am so thankful in freaking bold letters and an explanation. I got that last night.
That's awesome.
I mean, that just freaking, and then when I see this company doing that, that's why we do what we do, everybody. Whoever's listening to this, that's why we do what we do. We want to expose these places that aren't of integrity and let you know the facts. And
listen to this, Jay. So I'm on Dealer Rater. They got a 4.2 rating with 8,822 reviews. 2022 Consumer Satisfaction Award. How the hell did that happen?
They're all in cahoots. I can tell you about Dealer Rater. Like Dealer Rater it's like what we talk about.
I don't know nothing about this. And if I'm a consumer,
I
I find Dealer Rater, you're going to think this is a legit company.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all about this, buddy. It's about money. That's all it is. You pay.
I mean, I figured as much, but does your average I understand that, but again,
I think I don't know. This is just a hunch. This is not based on a fact. I think that they paid the Better Business Bureau. I do. It doesn't just disappear like that.
No.
And so when you look at the reviews, what I was getting into, the theme of these reviews, people are not getting their paperwork. There's no communication. People are calling up to these call centers that they're on the phone for 30 minutes, hours, days, sometimes weeks. I've even read, and they have mechanical issues and body issues that were not disclosed to them. And then they're trying to call back. It's kind of like you buy a car from them, like, oh, well, we'll let you, drive it for 7 days, and then you can just take it back if you don't like it. Well, this isn't a little piece of electronic. This is a car. So when you buy this car, good luck on trying to get your money back. Good luck. And there's a lot of small print. So one of the things that was interesting to me, there's a couple things, and this is a good thing to share with everybody. There's actually a website called Carvana.pissedcustomer.com. And there are 269 reviews at a 1.8. I mean, I'm just over and over. You can't test drive a vehicle if you're doing a trade-in it's
Carvana.pissed.
Carvana.pissedconsumer.com. Here, like Dave and I talk about this all the time. If you're looking to go buy a car, type in the name of the company and type in reviews. And when you see a pattern of 2.7, 2.8, that's the company you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But shame on them for firing 2,500 people over Zoom. I mean, come on. That you want to talk about piss? That pisses me off.
Yeah, no,
because not all businesses operate like that, and we have some great dealers that we work with, and I guarantee you, the dealers we work with are looking at that saying, "Oh boy, they're going down the wrong path."
Yeah.
Speaking of the wrong path, we're going to have a part 2 episode of this because we're going to get into more stuff about some of the shenanigans, but we're also going to get into Vroom because holy crap. There's another company, another one of these online companies that is really doing some, I'm just going to say unethical things based on my readings, but I'll let the audience decide what they think. Any more stuff that you want to add, Dave?
No, sir. That's a great time to say sayonara, and we'll see you next week.
And if you're listening, comment. Tell us what you want to hear. We're listening. Share this with your friends and family, and we'll see you next week. Peace.